Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your man, Jay Blaze. Excited, finally, after a 2-year hiatus.
Wow.
Welcome to the Daddy Dialogue podcast. And I only say hiatus, though. First of all, I want to introduce my co-host here. Good friend of mine. He's an artist.
Yes.
Videographer.
Yes.
Man of God.
Yes.
Great father.
Yes.
Amazing dude.
Yes.
And just a hard to serve people. And I am grateful, man, first of all, before anyone says anything else, that God chose you to be here with me. Who knew?
Who would have known, bro?
2 years, Allan, I was sitting in Houston, Texas, doing a morning radio show saying, God, what do you want me to do with this talent, this craft you gave me, this radio thing? And God was like, I want you to pour into your child and use the one thing I gave you as your gift. And that was my voice. And so
That's amazing.
The Daddy Dialogue podcast was created out of that. And we started doing a couple of episodes here and there. And then it turned into something greater than just me talking to my child.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
And parents started hitting me up and saying, man, can you talk about this?
Bro.
Can you talk about that? And I was like, all right, let's do it. But, Allan, let me tell you, before you even speak, thank you, man, for being here with me.
Of course.
Thank you for everything. God has opened the door for you to give us this great, amazing space to do this podcast. And the fact that we finally get to do this. So this is something.
Definitely, bro.
I know you know this because we've had conversations outside of this.
Oh, without a doubt.
Me and you are all about, we're about fatherhood. And I was like, man, God, this would be the perfect person.
Yeah, man.
He's a little like me in a lot of ways. He's a father, has 2 kids. First of all, how many children you got, man?
I got two.
You
Two
got
girls.
Two girls.
Yeah.
I have a boy. His name is Josiah.
Yeah.
And so the vision at the beginning of this was I just wanted him to have some recordings. The day Daddy's not here anymore, he could go to these recordings and learn where Daddy was in life.
Bro, why hold on, I'm going to take my shades off because I don't want to seem like.
No, what are you talking about?
Why Spanish people always got to talk about when they die?
No, I'm
Cuando
just
yo me
saying.
muera,
I'm
tú
just
tienes
saying.
algo para...
I just, well, you know, if people don't know, and if you listened to the podcast before, I have chronic kidney disease. Had a kidney a couple years ago. And now we're working on getting another kidney. And
Exactly.
so, yeah, I'm honest, man, with mine. You know me. People don't that are watching, but you know me.
I
and
feel
so
you, bro.
We're 100%. I just wanted him to have something. So if I'm not here one day, Allan, he could be like, let me go hear my pops and what he was saying, what he was doing, what he was going through, and I could learn from it.
Listen,
so one day when I have a child.
Listen, bro. The introduction alone of you trying to tell your son how to do it was enough for me. Because
you heard
it was
that.
a candid moment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm glad you heard that.
Huh?
That's dope. You're talking about the intro? No.
Yeah, the intro.
Yes, when he was like 2 years old. Now he's not.
Oh, for real?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
that's
Now
when he
he'd be
was
like,
2.
Dad, you want me to
He
do this
sat at the
again?
radio station, we recorded it, and it became this. I had the soundtrack, I sort of produced it, and it came out really nice.
Nah, that's what's up,
But
bro.
it's memory. If he's 25, he can still remember.
Oh, man.
That's when I was 2 years old. So
Yeah.
that's the reason. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watching us here finally on a video podcast for the
Straight
Daddy
up.
Dialogue podcast.
This is beautiful,
one,
bro.
To me, this one is special because it's something I've been really struggling with as a father, and I felt like a lot of other dads could relate to it too.
Okay.
So I am, if you don't know, I've been a father for 9 years. I have a son. He's 9 years old. His name is Josiah. He is a miracle baby. After many years of me and my wife trying to have a child,
Oh, yeah.
after many years, God granted us a baby.
Straight up, man.
He became Josiah, and he is a butterball of love, and we love him tremendously. And shout out to your beautiful wife checking us
Yeah,
out the
definitely.
window.
She just pulled up.
That is awesome.
Yo, you remind me of my pastor, though, for real. Because
Why do you say that?
He definitely had your same situation, praying for a kid. It'd be nice to have him on, bro, because he is definitely someone you can talk to.
Yeah, there's certain specific things about our lives that we can relate to.
Yes,
When
bro.
you're like, Father, why is not this happening?
Oh,
We've been
man.
waiting. Everything else you've done, why not this? And God chose 9 years ago, man.
Yo,
I thought
straight
it looked at almost impossible, Allan.
Yeah, I know.
And God did it, bro. And so
I mean, I don't know, but I can empathize
you
with
can-
the moment that you'll have of sitting there just waiting and wondering and having those days that you know you're not doing anything and you wanted to do something, but now you can't, and you're just there stuck trying to figure out what to do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I feel you,
so
bro.
I am always, he's a constant reminder, man, of like
Oh,
what God
man.
can do, man. When we
Straight
think
up.
it's impossible, you feel me?
Yeah.
And so that's why, to me, it's always powerful. Today, man, on this Dad Chat, sponsored by Daddy Dialogue Podcast. If you don't know, the Daddy Dialogue Podcast is here to inspire, equip, and encourage dads around the world. Or at least we try. That's what we do. You saw the mugs? Shout out to cream and crafts. You know what I mean? She really got through with
The
it.
flyest.
And later when we put some juice in here, it changed colors for you. And
Oh
everything.
my gosh, I can't
Yo,
wait
shout
for
out
that.
to the wives. Always support us and
Always,
really
bro.
have our backs no matter
Always,
what.
always.
Shout out to all the wives out there. Yo, so we try to inspire, equip, and help dads. And something that I've been really struggling with, and something that has become a really stepping stone to saying at this season of my fatherhood, okay, is figuring out ways to inspire my son to figure out what his identity is. Or not that he's going to know Allan exactly what that is, but pushing him along the way and saying, this is who I am. This is who God called me to be.
Yeah.
These are maybe some of the things that interest me.
Yeah.
And yes, he's young. He's 9 years old. But I think there's something powerful when as fathers, we can at least start to cultivate that part of our kids' lives.
Yeah.
And they can start to figure out, oh, these are the things I like. Or,
They're watching.
Yeah, and
They're watching.
They're watching you first as
Yeah.
an example, you and your wife. And then
Without a doubt.
secondly saying, I like this, I don't like this. Maybe this is what I want to do when I turn 18, 19, 20. Not that we're going to figure. I want to make this clear before anyone says anything and they're watching this camera or going crazy. We're not experts, okay?
Oh, no.
We are fathers in training still after
Professional
many years.
failures.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm about to make a
Yeah.
shirt. Keep playing. Professional failures. Because it's nonstop learning as we go.
Yeah,
And that's
dude.
something that's I've always admired. You've always told me that. It's something you've told me countlessly. Like, yo, we're still trying to figure this out, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah.
You think you got it.
You think
and
you
then the
got
next
it and
week,
you
boom,
don't.
Candela con tu
Right.
hija.
Yeah, straight
We'll
up.
talk about that situation with the movie thing you told me like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yo,
Which is
son.
pretty amazing. Yo, wait, but you're going to tell me. I have
Okay.
a specific spot for that.
All right, cool.
And I want people to hear that because I have something related to that'll work together.
All right, no doubt, no
That I
doubt.
think will be awesome. So first of all, in a world we're worried about like things that we want to give our kids, because I came from the hood. I know you had your little background, however you came up.
Yeah.
And it was rough. And so as fathers, a lot of times what we do now is try to overcompensate by overgiving our kids what we never had.
Ooh, yes.
And so I do that subconsciously a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so worried about my kid not going through the trauma and the struggle and the food stamps and the government cheese and the Kool-Aid and all these things that we went through as kids.
Oh, yeah.
That I'm like, yo, man, I will bust my behind, like all parents do, to make sure that you don't have to struggle through that.
Yeah, bro.
And so I felt like a lot of that built up who I was, because my father was so busy in the hustle and bustle of trying to just pay bills that there was no time to cultivate and speak into me. Although I will say this, Allan, I am extremely grateful for, although my dad went through that season and I didn't get what I wanted from him,
Yeah.
he did do other things that were amazing in my life. How was
cool.
How was your experience with your mom or dad? Did any of them at least help, or were they just so in the hustle and bustle that wasn't happening?
It's kind of similar to it because, you know, just to protect my father.
Yeah,
You know what
definitely.
I'm saying? He had his definite failures. You
Yeah,
know what
all
I'm saying?
dads do, man.
And one thing that bothered me the most is I've always questioned this, bro. Would you rather have a father you never knew or a father that really wasn't there?
Oof.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The love is there. He'll tell you he love you, but you got to show it with action. So with that, it's funny that you said about balance, right? About having to be able to balance it, is the fact that you're going to have someone that you're going to learn from to not do, so when your kid comes, you know what to prepare yourself for. But then when you give too much of that, like when you gatekeep that negative side of growing up, you're giving too much of that kid to where he's spoiled in that tier.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when you spoil him in that tier of grace, it's not saying give him less grace, but what I'm saying, when you give him that much from what you've learned from your past, right? Rather than ridiculing and blaming, you're just helping that kid out, right?
on. Yeah,
But then now he's on that tier that he's gonna end up just being spoiled about it, and now you gotta regress, now you gotta retract. So that's
Like almost you gave too much too fast.
Yeah, way too fast. So you stay doing this, you stay balancing like crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's very important, is to be able to access that portal of hurt and pain, right? So that you can teach your kids how it's supposed to be. So, I mean, look, he was there. They both gave me my first Casio keyboard.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That really cultivated some of the identity of who you have now.
Exactly,
Because you
bro.
produce tracks, you do
Yeah,
music.
exactly.
And if
for
it
that-
wasn't for that Casio,
Oh, forget it. I think if they would have just done that, I would be grateful for them for the rest of my life, regardless of what it was. Regardless. Because they helped me explore. I'm seeing things that I see in my child now with her revelation of songs and sounds that she's finding that I went through the same exact thing. She said she cried to this one there's this one built-in program.
Okay.
She was like, man, it's just so sad and it makes me feel some type of way. And it's just a preset, like, loop that you learn how to play.
Yeah.
And I said, I mean, like, God works in crazy ways.
Ridiculous.
But it unlocked a past feeling when I had that Casio keyboard and I heard that ding, 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 right? And I was like, why do I feel some type of way about that? I felt like I was just imagining things in my head, and I think that's what helped the creativity. So for that, I give 100%. I'm so thankful for my parents have given that.
No, when you think about it, that Casio started the revolution of even now developing how your daughter is watching you.
Yes,
and
man.
seeing you produce tracks.
Yes, and
do
not
certain
pushing.
things.
So not even pushing.
She's
even
just
though
watching.
Yeah, she's just watching. So we're at the part where how do I lead that kid? And I think, yeah, obviously by watching, but I think you nudge a little bit. You know how you can nudge something?
Just a little bit.
And then it just changes the whole trajectory.
And you
without even knowing.
No, and I think with parenthood, when we have those pivotal moments with our kids where we can nudge a little bit.
Yeah, let them roll.
It's defining moments of figuring out, okay, this is what he's going to be doing,
Yeah.
or no, he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's really cool that you said that because it makes me think about trying to give people tools in this conversation of some things that we can do. These aren't all the things, but these are some of the things. And I want to say again, we're professional failures, so you know.
Straight up.
Straight up. But we're learning, and God has just given us grace to continue to move. And I think people can learn something from these things. But the Casio is already catching my attention. Like, wow, that's dope.
Bro.
Now
The
seeing how your
Casio
daughter's
keyboard.
listening. Who knows what can happen 5 years from now?
Who knows,
when
man.
your daughter's a teenager. And so I wanted to sit down with you, man, and give you 3 tools, 3 things. These aren't all the tools, but these are some of the ones I thought were powerful.
Okay.
To help us when we're looking at what things we can do to cultivate our kids in their identity.
Cool.
Especially with because it's
I
hard,
hope there's
man.
curb rash in it.
Huh?
I hope there's curb rash because, when you nudge, you got to give them a little curb rash at times so that they know where it is.
As a matter of fact, we can add that as number 4. Okay,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
with it. Curb rash, I'm with it. That little nudge situation,
Yeah.
I'm all with it. Because
Let 'em
you
hit the
always
curb
need that.
one time.
It's a beautiful balancing act. But
Yeah.
honestly, when you say nudge, it's like, yo, let me just keep you on your toes.
That's
yo.
it.
Keep you on your toes.
That's it.
You making sure you know what you want to do here? We don't want to just sit and just go through life.
Yup.
We got to figure it out.
Sometimes
All right,
that nudge is chancla.
cool. Exactly. El nudge or la chancla. You pick,
Yeah.
baby. Which one you want? Let's just pick the nudge.
I combine them, bro.
Yo, that's the Puerto Rican. It's hard for you to get away.
I'll combine the two. The
I wish
nudge
you
is
had
not really a
chancla
nudge.
right now. We'll put it on the table, brother. It'd be powerful. So 3 tips, man, that I think could help us, especially cultivating and helping our kids figuring out who they are. You spoke about the Casio piano, which has helped you tremendously now. I wanted to give you a couple that I think are pretty amazing. First one on this list, man, give them easy choices. Give your kids easy choices. What do I mean? I mean, you got to try to slowly, as they're trying to figure out their identity, empower them in some sort of way. And I think a way that we can do that is by slowly giving them chances. I'm not talking about what kind of car you're going to buy, what kind of house you're going to buy, not those kind of choices.
Oh, that's them.
We're starting with definitely. They want a Tesla at this age.
Yeah.
It's crazy how kids work. But I'm saying more like food. You can start with food. And then at 7 years old with my son, Josiah Allen, that's what we did. It was like, you want a hot dog, you want a hamburger, pick a choice. You want this kind of juice, you want this, wah. And so now, dude is telling us what he wants, which is pretty aggressive.
That's how they do it now.
But now it's empowered him to a point where he knows what he wants. When he doesn't want something, he'll tell you, no, papi, I don't want that. No me lo de. I'm good. Or he'll be nice to us, and he'll smile. I know it's fake when he smiles and goes,
I want these.
oh, it's good. And it's not. He doesn't want it. That's to not hurt our feelings. That's how Josiah is.
Smart.
Really smart guy.
Wow.
But now I've empowered him with some other kind of choices. And I guess parents can do this too, depending on what kind of chores your kids are doing. That's another kind of. I got killed, I'm going to tell you, on socials for saying my kids do chores. Like, people were saying,
man, miss me, bro. I spank my kids, bro, in public.
Dog, they're going to come for you, bro, in the comment section.
Let them.
Be careful. No, we've talked about this before. It's true. Listen, so now
Spare the rod, hate the child, my G.
You preach
Let's
to
go.
him. Preach to him, Allan.
I'ma have to.
Preach to him.
I got whooped.
Whoop your kid.
I got whooped in public.
Don't whoop your kids.
When I stepped out.
Try to discipline them. Don't whoop
righteously whooped. I'm not even talking about that.
That's a whole nother conversation. This man is trying to preach to y'all
Look
here.
at where I'm at now. Thank you.
I love it. Yeah, it really has formed me too. That's another conversation. But yo, now the choices look a little different, Allan. Now it's
Yeah.
like, hey,
There's other ways though.
you want to play Roblox? You want to
Yeah.
play
Oh,
Fortnite?
yeah.
You want a $5 card, $10
Yep.
card out here?
Yep.
These are the choices,
This is what you
cuz.
gotta do.
Take out this trash. Fix this room. Make sure we're looking tight. Put those shoes away.
Bro, now
It's
that you say
choices.
that, I barely hit my kids now. I barely hit them.
Bro.
Because when you take the things that they really want away
Oh, it's a wrap.
and you mean it and you give them the eye,
It does all the work for you.
yeah. So
and you don't
I
have
gotta
to
say, yeah.
overexert yourself on crazy energy. And something I spoke to someone about yesterday, Allan, that I think is extremely important. The work you put into your daughters those years ago,
Yeah.
that fruit you're seeing now.
I'm seeing now it's just
'Cause
psychological.
somebody just told, I was talking to somebody yesterday and they were like, yeah, man, your kid is, I'm not, no cap. Like,
Go
my
ahead,
kid is
because
relaxed.
my wife's here too. She'll say it.
My kid is relaxed.
Yes.
Like, you don't act, wow, I don't have to
Teachers
be like,
be
bro,
like-
you out of order. Like, none of
To
that.
just be like, I love them.
But we put the work in, bro. I put
Yeah,
the work in a long
exactly.
time ago.
Exactly.
And thank God has been able to show fruit in it. Like the way he's around people. And me and my wife, I have to tell him one time. Like old school. ¿Tú te recuerdas? Vieja escuela.
bro.
Papi, siéntate ahí. Yeah.
Yeah.
O te daban that death stare.
Deja que vamos a casa. Vas a ver.
Papi, de que llegamos a la casa. And they would stand by the door, right where you would walk through. Pa.
Yeah. Huacate.
But that's, those are pretty rough stories of some traumatic
Yeah,
whippings.
but see, those huacates got us to where we at today.
How did you call those? Huacates?
Huacate.
Yeah, bro.
Huacate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would say it and whoop you. Every verse or lyric would go with the word they were hitting you with.
snap.
Pretty crazy. So yes, give them those choices. Start small. It'll evolve. Trust me, at 15, kind of choices they're going to have to be making.
Yeah,
you might be
now
pivotal.
it's psychological though. Like it's great discipline, but now it's like they get in your head now because they know where to push the buttons just right, and then just like, oh, okay, he's in that kind of mood today,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna do this.
Oh my God.
But it's funny though. It's funny. I get irritated, but man, it just takes me back to when I used to do it to my
Because
parents.
then you
or
see
my-
yourself in them. You're like, I
Yeah,
used to do
bro.
these same
I
kind
can't
of
knock on
games.
them. I can't. I'm my own. It's my own product.
It's and but I think that's beautiful, regardless
man.
of what you say, because it shows the intelligence, the wittiness
Yeah. Oh yeah.
of like
super
quien
fast.
tú eres.
Yeah.
It reflects in them.
Yeah,
And
straight
you
up,
can't-
bro.
That's how I look
Super
at
fast.
Josiah, and I'm like, I want to beat him.
Yo.
Yeah, I want to beat him, but
Yo.
I'm honest. Like
Yeah.
we I got to be different. So this
Oh,
brings
yeah.
me
What
this
up?
brings me
Without
to
doubt.
number 2, which I think is probably one of the hardest as parents that we deal with. I personally, I'll
right.
tell you why. Number 2 is help them benefit from failure.
Help them
Benefit from failure. So when your kid fails at something, you want to make sure that they don't see you as a judge, but a mentor in that position.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
You understand?
I took it another way.
It's not like, it's not like I'm judging you because you failed.
Right.
Son, this is a learning moment. This is pivotal.
Yes, man.
for us to
I wish
learn.
I had that.
I'm learning.
I wish I
learning.
had that.
There's I call you B because artist name is Bonsky. Allan, let me say something to you. We can say all these things, but there's moments when we're not in character, my friend,
Yeah.
and we lose it. And we're not following. I try. Thank God we can look at these things and
Yeah.
listen to them and be like, hey, I remember when I said that could possibly help me. It's a
Yeah.
nugget that I can use again.
Oh, yeah.
And so we want to make sure that when our kids fail, 'cause I've had to learn this recently. Someone told me you have to let him fail so he can grow from it.
Yo.
Because if you're
straight
there
up.
every time when he's 18, he's going to look back and be like, where's my dad to help me push through?
Yep.
And so one thing that I learned, and this is a story from when I was young, I got into a fight on a street corner with another kid.
Yeah.
My dad let me fight. Parents
Did you
don't let your
win?
kids fight. I won. I was fatter. I jumped on top of him. He was skinny and tall, but
was
my
over.
weight was too much.
That's it.
Why'd you want to ask about you? It's a street.
I
dude.
needed it in the back of my head so I have security, man, wherever we
Yeah,
go.
I won the fight. I did pretty well. I fought, got through it. The good thing that I learned the lesson there that day because my dad had told me, listen, if you ever get into a fight, I'm going to support you 100%. I'm going to correct you, but not in front of the person you just fought. Wow. I'm going to sit you privately and say, son, you defended yourself, but you were wrong in this, this, and this. Let's not make that mistake again. But that taught me something, B. That taught me something really powerful. That I knew that no matter what issue I got into in the streets, my father had my back. No matter what. Wow. And so I remember that day when I was fighting, he came out, he grabbed me off the kid, took me inside the house, let me calm down. The kid left to his house. There was a bunch of kids. You know how kids, back then everybody wasn't pulling out a phone, but.
Bro, like I still get goosebumps.
He pulled me out,
those days.
Sat me down, and didn't, he didn't embarrass me in front of all my friends. He sat me down and said, son, this is what you did wrong. You can't be doing this stuff. But I got your back, no matter what. Did I get punished? Yeah, not crazy. But I always knew my father had my back. But I learned from that failure of fighting and losing my temper and fighting dudes on the street. And so that's just one example. With my son, there's moments I try to be too helicopter over the top. Like I'm trying to pre-plan the next move.
They're going to do this to you, son. Crosshairs ready.
I'm sure, especially you got 2 daughters.
Yeah, bro.
Boy, I'm sure you will come for a dude's head.
Without a doubt.
Like without even thinking.
I don't even give them the chance.
What? They can't even finish the sentence.
I was like, oh, you the first boyfriend? I'm not even considering you,
what?
My G.
Who are you and what are you talking about?
Blessed be thou to the north.
No, powerful. And so we got to let them fail.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some moments where they're pivotal. And I think some of those moments are really pivotal parenting moments that I think that really could define not just our relationship with our kids, but helping them define who they are. In that failure. Yeah. And so an example, when I was a kid, I was like 13, 14, didn't know how to make money. I was struggling. Like I was money hungry to buy stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
you
my
don't
uncle,
want to know what my first encounter with money is.
My uncle was like, hey bro, I'll lend you my lawnmower. Get this work in. Like cut some yards, charge $20. There you go. Just put some gas in my lawnmower and you're good. Put it back at the crib.
Wow.
Started like that, but I'm going to tell you where the failure came. I took the lawnmower, started making a couple dollars, like $80, $90 every weekend. And one weekend, bro, I was just gassed. I was into myself. I was like, I'm the man. So I go to this yard to cut, and I didn't look. You got to do a little pre-screen. Look at the grass, make sure there's no rocks.
Right.
Here we go.
Right.
Go up in there. I didn't look. I'm a G, dog. I'm making money every week. I'm making $90. I'm 14.
You're 14.
I'm doing good, son. It's like dope money out here. And so I'm cutting this yard. I didn't look. There was a rock, and the rock spins off the blade and hits a window. Ooh. So when it happens, I act like nothing because the lawnmower is so loud.
Yeah.
But the neighbor comes up. Say, hey, you just broke my freaking window. And I was like, oh, I felt like my world was coming because I had never dealt with failure or a real conflict at the moment.
Yeah.
Person comes out, they're cursing. I'm looking like, first thing I got to do is give them all my little money from this week for that window. Eventually that happened. My uncle at the time sat with me and said, it's okay, man. This is what comes with business.
Yeah.
Just go out there next week, make some more money, you'll be okay. Just make sure you look at the grass before you start cutting.
Word.
And so from that failure as a team, defined me in a lot of ways. I knew that. And that's how I deal with stuff now, which is really funny. Before we come into this podcast, I accidentally left my keys inside my truck.
Oh, yeah.
At a random gas station in the middle of nowhere. Not going to lie, B, the first 5 minutes, Jesus wasn't in my mind. Yeah. I was totally in another place. I was like, why now? I want to record this podcast. Why can we?
Of all days
my wife
of the
did
year.
the best thing. She walked away, decompressed, went over there to the corner. She was already working on the problem. Thank God, 10 minutes later, AAA came through, holla.
And then 10 minutes.
10 minutes. That's the blessing in this.
That's the Lord.
But in that failure, we learned something.
Straight up, dude.
Always remind your kid, you don't want to be the judge, you want to be the mentor.
Straight
in that
up,
process.
man.
Please learn that. It is hard, not easy.
That works. Solid.
Especially when stuff starts coming up to your mind and you want to kill your kid in the moment.
Yeah, man.
Last one, which I think is good, and it is one of the scariest things as parents we deal with when we're dealing with conflict with our kids, especially when we're trying to help them. This can either hinder or heal or even escalate our kids when it comes to figuring out their identity.
Okay.
Making sure that we don't project your insecurities onto your kid.
Oh my gosh. I am totally vigilant on that.
B, I do this. I've done it, okay, on a regular basis.
Yep.
I do it so subconsciously.
I gotta check
I use
myself.
my insecurities, stuff that I didn't deal with in my past.
Yeah.
And I try to put it on my kid. Like all of a sudden he's going to figure it out when I've been dealing with it for 20 years. Whoa. And I haven't dealt with it personally. As parents, we'll sit there and complain and be like, well, why you don't do that? And we're literally taking this ton of weight that we've had for 20 years and say, son, you know what? I couldn't deal with it. Here you go. Boom, you hold it and you're going to figure it out because I'm going to put all this pressure on you. And so be careful. I know there's parents that are listening right now and they're like, wow, bro, I've done that.
Straight up.
I think all parents have done that.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, that'll lead to my story, and then I want to hear yours because this is a story that was really impactful. And we'll be done with this episode with these. I think this is good. And
I don't think this is worth,
I think we can go more,
hours,
but we got some good stuff.
We got to find the audience.
I'll tell They're
going to be like, please.
That'll be good. I want to ask a
long podcast.
Yeah, longer.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I did this. And I told you this, you were one of the first people I told outside of my wife and my sister.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest failures I've ever had in the 9 years of being a dad. Okay, I've had some big ones, but this one was probably the worst. My kid goes to school. I'm going to keep it short. My kid goes to school with $2 to buy a treat for this like special thing they do on the weekends for treats.
Yeah.
I tell my son, okay, what treat do you need? Oh, it's $2. All right. I'm going to give, that's all you want, $2? Fine. Yeah. I'm going to buy this hot Cheetos, some Takis, whatever. I don't know what. Goes to school with the $2. In my subconscious, I'm thinking, bro, you should not get hustled for your $2. I'm a street dude, son. I'm giving you money. This money we killed ourselves for. We want to make sure you use it for your benefit so you can have your chips, whatever you want. Right. That's why we work, like all parents. Goes to school, gets in my truck after school. I'm like, where are the chips? I'm on it. I'm like, where are the chips, bro? Josiah, where are the chips? I don't see them. Oh, point is, he lies. He tells me that something like I gave one of my dollars to a friend. After having a conversation, I figure out more and more that he's lying in the process. You know how parents do investigative work.
Yeah.
And I figure out that another boy had $1. He didn't have the $2 to buy what he wanted, so he hustled my kid out of $1. So my son stayed with $1. He couldn't buy anything at school. And guess who bought what he wanted at school? The boy who brought $1.
Man.
So after this is happening, I'm going to tell you exactly how it went down. I stopped my truck on the side of the road. I was enraged. I was at 1,500.
Yeah.
I was hot.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, how am I going to deal with this? And I blew up. And so this is the beautiful logic and advice I tell my kid in a moment of straight trauma. Yeah. I say, hey, son, you know what you're going to do? Tomorrow, you're going to go to school and you're going to ask that boy who took your $1 for his $1. And when he doesn't give you his $1, guess what you're going to do? What, Daddy? You're going to give him a 2-piece and a biscuit. In Jesus' name. Just like that. You're going to punch him in the face.
Right.
Because he's not going to give you your money. He took you for your $1. You let him take you for your $1. Here I am spilling the insecurities of my child, some of the bullying I dealt with, the fighting I had to deal with, the constant, hey, you're this, you're that. And then I'm trying to dump that insecurity into my son. When he could have dealt with it different. At the moment, I could tell my son was in total fear because now his dad is putting pressure on him to go punch some kid in the school. And I told him, I even went further, which is really bad. I said, yo, son, when the teacher tells you something, tell her to call me so I could pick you up and then I can go take you to buy the thing you were supposed to buy in school.
Oh,
snap. I was enraged.
Wow, because you wanted to celebrate.
I was bad. I wanted to throw my insecurities and then throw victory party behind it. And so, thank God, in that moment, I called two of the people that I most respect, gave them a call. Then we had a conversation later that day or the day after. God chose it for it to happen like that. And so I talked to my wife, I talked to my sister, and the first thing they said out of their mouth, "Tú estás loco? You crazy? What are you doing? Telling your kid to go slap some kid, give him a 2-piece and a biscuit? Are you retarded? Like what?" My wife was honest. You need that sometimes. My sister's like, yeah, you're crazy. And then I believe it was my wife or my sister. One of them said, I think it was my wife. She said, you're dumping your insecurities on Josiah. Like the stuff you haven't dealt with, he can't approach that. He's not you. Yeah, he's your son. And there's a parent listening. That's your kid, but they can't do exactly what you did, how you do it back in 92 when I was in the Biggie and Tupac. Influence to just, come over someone's head.
Straight
shout
up, bro.
Tupac, but I'm just saying.
Now look at where he's at. Shout
out. You wrong for that. And so, I just felt like I learned there. So what did I do? And I'll finish with this. Then I want to hear your story.
Man, we could finish with like that.
Okay. I said, listen, bro, son, I sat him down. After he was watching me so closely, he could see the vivid, just how heated I was. He had never seen me like that. And I said, son, listen, I apologize, first of all, for my attitude, my approach, and the way I spoke.
Yeah.
That wasn't called for. That's not the way we rock. I don't show you that, and I don't want to be an example of that. So I apologize, first.
Wow.
Secondly, I said, I don't want you to hit the boy. That's not what we do. If he took the dollar, he needed it. It's okay. We bless his life, and we move on. But, and this is the big but, this is a teaching lesson.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a judge. I wanted to be
regardless of what. You
I
can
said, Papi, next time, instead of saying you're going to give him the dollar, you're like, look, I only got 2 for what I want. I could buy it and give you some of mine. Or we can combine our dollars and buy it together and share. We can figure out some ways.
Some other ways.
Like you got to hustle it.
Then a 2-piece and a biscuit.
Then a 2-piece and a biscuit with extra fries on the side, because that's how heated I was about how I wanted to be.
Made to order.
When you think about it, B, and this is the scary part, and this is how you know it runs deep in my heart, in some part of my heart somewhere.
I'm ready.
That I could almost envision myself and my kid beating the kid up.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was so
yeah,
enraged.
for sure.
Like, dale,
What
loco.
parent doesn't do that?
Pártale la cabeza, manín.
Yeah.
I was so enraged. Pero I feel like even in my darkest moment, as not a great parent, God chose that to do something great with it and teach other people from it. And I could tell this story because I know there's other parents that get like that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
'Cause we're
some
literally-
don't get away from that though. Some leave it at that. Get back what you, and you get back to them and you make sure
You make, if not, you won't walk through this door.
And there's the cap. There's the limit. That's as far as they go mentally.
And bro, you cause so much like trauma.
Yeah, man.
And hurting your kid like that.
Yeah.
There's like this sense of fear.
Yeah.
That I have to live up to the expectation. Like this
now
parent,
it's double because he's getting from both. Oh, my parent expects me from this to do this now. Oh, the guy that I actually got the dollar chicken from, he's bigger than me. He's more so that just continues. And then you got the enemy speaking, you ain't gonna do it, you ain't gonna this, you ain't gonna that. Forget it, bro. Like we don't realize the amount of pressure that was applied on that moment.
It's scary, man, and it's dangerous. It's irresponsible as parents. And I ask parents, if you're listening, start slow. You're not going to notice it quickly.
Yeah.
But slowly start to look at that as something specific, because we do it. And sometimes I know, Allan, I fail at it, and I quickly remind myself, okay, that's not how we rock. That's not how we rock. That's not how we function. You know what I mean? I want to be an example to my child. Yeah, man.
Look for the exit.
Yeah,
I don't just stay in the room.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. It's true. But I appreciate that. Those are 3 tips that I think can help all kind of parents, especially when it comes to identity. And these points they're not the end all be all, but I think they're instrumental in certain ways of cultivating how we want our kids to be. Not that we can try all day and say this is exactly how they're going to be.
Yeah.
But if we can show them, cultivate, like how you say, number 4, that nudge, like where you at?
A nudge.
Yeah, let's do a check. It's like, I remember at this job I had, they would do this. It was like a corporate feel of like where you are on a gauge from 1 to 4. You were happy, sad, depressed, anger. And so I think that nudge sort of goes in the same kind of like, where you at? You good?
Yeah.
Where's the school stuff going? What are these other hobbies? Maybe you've been watching me play this Casio and producing these beats.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to do some of this. Should I get you a piano for Christmas?
Yeah.
Should I, you want a beat machine? You want to record a record? Man, my son is right now. My son is, and we're almost done here, but my son is constantly on me about YouTube, and I'm feeling conviction at the moment because he's watching and he's like, Daddy, I keep telling you, and so now I'm like,
looking at what they're doing.
Yep.
Oh, I can do that.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to game and I want to do. And so at first, if we don't take it serious,
oh, bro.
Yeah, like, and those pivotal moments, if we don't cultivate, put a little water into that.
Yep.
We don't know, man, what God could do with them when they're 20, bro.
And that's when I started doing it for my daughter. So she started her little channel, Alina Forever, right? She selected the name, she selected everything.
Okay.
Next thing you know, we're doing the videos, we're on it, and then I started taking over on how I believe the videos should be done. And she started disliking that. Oh, Dad, I want to do it the way I want to do it. I said, no, but you got to do it this way because this is what's hitting, right? Later on, did I realize that I was giving that nudge, but I was hitting the e-brake when she's like, I got the gas.
When she was really trying to show you where she was at.
Gas. So I was like, yo. So now I learned how to lean back, allow her to do what she wants to do, and now she's like, you know what? I'm gonna hold back on doing videos. She almost has like this. Like, I'm reprogramming what I want to do. I want to do like a little. So that's the nudge.
Yeah, and you're the platform.
That's it.
You're the platform.
I'll provide what you need. Just tell me what you got.
Man, I'm excited we had this conversation.
Too short, bro.
Too short, but it's good because this is the first of many. We'll continue to have these. Don't even sweat it. Yo, it's your man Jay Blaze, Allan, a.k.a. Bonsky. Where do we go follow you, man? Because you have amazing music and our people are blessed by it.
First of all, thank you so much for giving me a shout out. Thank you for this platform. I had to take the shades off because this was an endearment.
You look out for family. Okay?
This is a real moment.
You ain't just some random artist I know. This is years in the making. We've been friends for a little bit now.
Yeah, better friends than business. And,
yes.
I love it. So you can follow me on every social media.
He's trying not to promote. I know this cat.
I'm trying not to, but man, look.
He doesn't like to talk about his stuff. He's in a lot of ways like me. I don't be on that vibe.
You know what I love though? Can I clear that up real quick?
What?
I support what you just said, like big time. Because this is what I do. I shake your hand. Hey, my name's Allan. If we click, we click. If you see my sincerity, hey, let's connect on social media.
Organically.
2 weeks later, I didn't know you were a rapper. How come you didn't tell me you were? Is it because if you would have seen that I was a rapper at first, you would look at me a certain way? And it happens, bro.
It does.
So when people see my sincerity, that I truly got love for them, even though I don't know them, and I really care about what they're talking about.
And let me say this. I don't know Cap, man. This is real.
Yeah.
This man has invested in me, like time, effort, gas money, food. Like, I say that because those are the kind I've learned, man, like a couple years ago, God really convicted me. Like I had all these people and I wasn't really seeing that I was putting the same kind of effort into the investment they had put into my life.
Yeah.
And so I was like, God, I don't want this guy to think I'm just calling him when I want something. Like, let me hit him up when it's.
And you say that too. You say that too. You expose what you feel, bro. Like hey, I feel like this and I don't want it to be like that.
No, not at all. And you've never, you're different, bro. And this could be like a bros moment, but I appreciate you.
Yeah, no,
man.
I appreciate you, man. You know what? Better doing this. I was gonna go for the.
You know what I mean? It's love out here.
I was gonna go for the dad fist, but let's do the Daddy Dialogue podcast.
Yo, welcome to the Daddy Dialogue podcast. We're out of here. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to check us out on all social media or on Spotify. You can listen to it there or the Anchor app also if you want to. It's your man Jay Blaze, Allan, right
Bonsky.
here. Daddy Dialogue podcast.
Thank you, brother.